Hey everybody, it's Paul from Aerographical again, and today we're going to be looking at the turn indicator and how we animate it within PowerPoint. So first and foremost, we do what we do in every single tutorial, is insert our images. So I'm going to use the round background for this turn indicator. I'm going to insert that, back to insert again. I'm going to insert the aircraft on top of that, so that will go into the middle, and insert, last but not least, the slip P as well, and that will come off. So you can see, because I've resized the images exactly the same, the aircraft should sit right in the middle. Okay, so when you turn the aircraft, it should turn in its correct position within the instrument. Okay, so I'm just going to put that in the middle there for a second, and I'm going to select Control A to select everything on the slide. I'm going to hold down Control and Alt, and I'm just going to resize that down slightly like that. And what I'll do is just position it there, grab the P, and I'm going to do the same. So I'm just going to size that down to about the rough size that need to be, and put it in positions as so. So there we have it. We have our graphics in position, ready to animate. Now, the first thing we're going to look at is the morph transition. It's the easiest way to animate the instruments within PowerPoint. So if you do have a copy of Office 2016 or Office 365, you will, if you go to the transitions menu, have this morph tab there. And what the morph allows you to do is animate between slides, which is really helpful and the easiest way. So if I was to select that slide there and click Control D to duplicate that slide, and I'm going to do that 4 times. On the first slide, I'm going to leave that as a none, and I'm going to select Morph for the following 3 slides. Okay. And what I'm going to do on slide number 3 is I'm just going to turn the aircraft one side like that. I'm going to leave that in the middle, and I'm going to turn the aircraft on slide number 5 the other direction as well. So now if we go to slide number 2 and select Control and F5. Oops, no we're not. We're going to set Shift and F5. And if we now click through the animation, you can see the morph will now animate and move the aircraft in the right position. So that's cool. Now we didn't do the P, so again, that's quite easy to do. What we can do is just move that up like that, keep that in the middle, and then what we're going to do is move that one up like that. So again, you can move these in any position you want. So Shift F5 again, run the animation. So click, and the P moves to that side, goes back to the middle, and again move to that side. So you can see how easy, by using the morph transition, it is to animate the instrument. So next thing we're going to look at is using the more traditional animation tools. Using the traditional animation tools is another method we can use to animate the instruments if you don't have this morph transition in your copy of PowerPoint. So I'm going to do is, again, I'm going to select slide number 2 now and go Control D, because that's got no animation on it at the moment. So I'm just going to drag that all the way down to the bottom there, and this is the one we're going to look at animating. So I'm going to go to animations. I'm going to put my animation pane there so I can see how I'm going to animate this. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the aircraft. I'm going to add animation. I'm going to do a spin. Okay. So let's look at changing the options. As always, in all the instruments, I put a smooth start, smooth end, just to make the animation look a bit more realistic. I'm going to go and custom spin. So I'm just going to put, probably 10 degrees will do it. And it's going to go clockwise this time, which is fine. And timing, I'm going to go for 2 seconds is fine. Okay. So if we press OK now, you can see that will go in that direction. We could possibly make it a bit more, maybe 20 degrees to get it down to there, but that's fine. Okay, so that's generally how we're going to animate the aircraft. So I can add another one if I want. So if I go spin, so all I've done is selected the same component on the screen, I've added a second animation, which is a spin. So effect options, smooth start, smooth finish as always. And this time what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to counterclockwise, and I'm going to go 40 degrees because I want it to go to the middle and bank back round again. So if I go 40, oops, and press return, okay, and then go okay. So that should go a bit too far, but it's because it's after the first animation, which is already the other way. So if I select Shift and F5, if I click through the animation now, you can see it goes one way and it goes the other way. So a bit too far, but you can see you can play with the degrees of a rotation, and you can get the aircraft to move any way you want to. So what I'll do is I'll just change that slightly, and I'll say 30. Okay, that'll be fine. Super. Yeah, that's about right. Now the P, slightly more difficult, because what we've got to do is we've got to get that to move in a sort of arc. So what we can do for that one is we can use the arc motion path for that one, which works really well. So if I select arcs, you can see now it goes the wrong way. Sorry, not the wrong way, but it doesn't go to where I want it to be. So if I just remove that there, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click on that, oops, motion path, and I'm going to edit the points. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to move that one up there like that, just to where I need it to finish. That's good. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete that one there. So I'm going to click on that point, right click, delete, and I'm just going to move that one up like that, and I'm going to move that one up like that. You can see now I'm starting just to make a little arc, which will cause that P to nice transition round. Okay, now I'm going to do it a bit quick because of the speed of the video, but you can take your time and get that arc to exactly move at the angle of the dip there for that indicator. So I'm just going to do it quickly for now, but you'll see once I kind of look at the animation, you should see it move into that position there. So again, smooth start, smooth end, and timing 2 seconds, that's fine. So Shift F5 to run the animation. So that will move that way, moves the other way, and the P now should move. So you can see it's gone too far low, and that's just purely for, if I was just to look in that there, yeah, you can see the arc isn't particularly brilliant. If I edit the points there, I can maybe move that one up there. Just play with the points until you get the right path you need. So I'm not going to spend too long on this because the video will be about 10 hours long, but you can get the gist of what we're trying to do here. So let's have a look. Slightly better, but it still needs work. So that's the way we're going to do it, by using that arc there and just manipulating those points to get it looking a bit nicer there. Look, it's almost a straight line, to be honest with you. Here we go. That should do it. That's roughly it. I mean, close enough from government work, as I used to say. Here we go. Not a million miles off. We can still make that bigger, but make that better, but you get the gist of what I'm trying to do there. So anyway, that is how we animate the turn indicator using a morph and the traditional animation tools. As always, any questions whatsoever, please don't hesitate to get in touch, and thanks very much, and I'll speak to you soon.